What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. My name is TreeCityWes. It's been a long time, YouTube. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a live stream. I've been so caught up in XenBLOCKS. Sorry if that was loud. Let me get the mic adjusted here. Man, look at crypto bubbles. What's happening here? Everything's looking pretty flat, I guess, except Bitcoin, I guess. Welcome to the live stream, another Saturday night live stream. Let me get this music situated here. We'll kind of switch it up. How about some lo-fi hip-hop for tonight? Make sure we got the instrumental selected. Let me know how I sound. Hopefully everything's coming through okay. Let's see here. Whoops. I'm getting Christmas music. What's happening here? I'm not ready. Joy to the world. All right, here we go. Nice. So yeah, we're just chilling on a Saturday night. We got a lot to go through. I'm sure we got a lot of questions about XenBLOCKS. We'll be taking a look at XenBLOCKS. Be happy to answer any questions. Offer my tech support. We also got the XenGarbageDump launch coming up. It's odd. I see like a little bit of a delay. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Let's see who we got in the chat. What's up, Zen Joe? What's up, Allie? What's up, Edwin? What's up, Sir? What's up, Howler? What's up, Penny? Welcome, Clay. Welcome, TD. Welcome, Cray Crypto. Nice crowd. Welcome, welcome. This is weird. I got like a delay in between. It might just be me. I don't know. We'll ignore it. I'll be looking at the charts. Let's take a look at crypto bubbles for the last week. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. You got a lot of red out there. Trust wallet tokens up 30%, renders up 20%, AVAX up 10% over the last week. It's interesting. I know they had a bit of some interesting things happen over there. I heard there's a little hack on one of the platforms on Avalanche. Might have to look into that. Welcome, Timo. Anything moving over the last hour? Not too much. Man, I have not looked at TradingView in weeks. I'll be completely honest. It's gonna be funny to see my TA that's still on there. Let's start with Bitcoin. Bitty bitty Bitcoin. Do I got any lines drawn? Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of doing our thing here. Starting to break out of this downward trend, which is interesting. Getting a nice little pump over the last week. Let's see here. Oops. I feel so sloppy. I'm so out of practice right now. Yeah, you can see we kind of came up, broke through the golden pocket. Nice bounce off it perfectly. So Bitcoin's doing its thing. Right now hanging at 27,900. Look at that. Would love to see it get back over 29. But you can see it keeps trying to come up and test it. You know, fail here, fail here, fail here, maybe? Or are we gonna keep going? We'll see what happens. What happened to Trust Wallet? That's a good question. I think a lot of people are just moving into decentralized things because it's just getting crazy in the world. I'm hearing about all this news in Gaza, Israel, and Hamas. It sounds crazy. Hope everybody's okay that's over there. But let's dive into the Zen ecosystem. We'll pull up our watch list over here. What do we start with? In Zen, man, when's it gonna find a bottom? I don't think it's gonna find a bottom anytime soon. My opinion's kind of changing on Zen. You know, until we have to feel the pain with Zen for the price to keep Zen has to make people not want to claim anymore for the price to find a bottom. The more the supply grows and the more, as the supply grows, people are going to want to sell, and this sell pressure is just going to continue. And there's opportunities. There's definitely opportunities in providing liquidity, playing the futures markets with Zen, because if you know what the price action is going to do, you can definitely take advantage of it one way or another. 4 Gwei right now. Holy shit, that is crazy. Pretty wild. Tomorrow's Zen's 1-year birthday, 1-year anniversary since the Zen launch. Tomorrow, I know there's a couple parties. There's ones in New York, there's one in LA, but I'll just be chilling in Ohio. We'll do another live stream tomorrow. But man, why don't we take advantage of this low Gwei? Let's see if we can get one off. Last night I got one. I think it was at 5.75. Oh, it's not going to show up here. Pull up the TreeCityWes wallet. It's all my Zen. 5.73 last night. So I got 10 VMUs for $19. So less than $2 a VMU in his NFT, which are a little more expensive. So that's pretty nice right there. I'll take that. Let's see if we can beat that. If it got all the way down to 4, I bet we could get one at 5.5. So what's my most mature? We got 1.7. Why don't we do one for Christmas Day? I'm getting that Christmas music in Epidemic Sound, so we might as well do one for Christmas Day. Do 10 VMUs. I like to spread them out. Yeah, what a way to kick off the show, though. Might as well. So we're gonna go into advanced. Yeah, I said 5.5. Gwei is currently 5. That is nuts. Ethereum is dead right now. Let's try it. Let's try get one under 5. Let's go 4.9. 4.95. That's pretty cool. We'll come back to this. Remind me to check on the mint. We'll see if it goes through. I've never had one. This will be my lowest one, under 5. 4.95. That's just kind of the state of crypto right now. If you're in crypto right now, you're gonna be happy in a couple of years. That's for sure. Although things could get much worse with the news that's coming out today. All this war, and I don't think the U.S. can handle being in 2 conflicts. In Ukraine and in Israel. That's so crazy. Yeah, so this will probably be pending for a bit, but it's 5.3 right now. I bet this will go under 5. That would be so cool. Yeah, shout out to Cray Crypto. Thanks for the heads up. So let's get back to the charts. So you can see exactly what Zen's doing here. I mean, this is the definition of a falling knife. It looks like it's gonna... You keep thinking it's finding these bottoms, but they're really just kind of wedges that break to the downside. Why is mining XenBlocks so tedious? It's proof of work. You gotta do the work to do it. No, that's part of it though. You have to understand what you're doing, what the technology is. We don't really have like a huge budget with super developers that know how to make that nice front end experience. Shout out to Woody and Jack. It's really just them two that's making everything. The more that the community can contribute, the better it'll be. That's why I'm trying to contribute. I really don't know much about coding or anything, but I've been learning just so I have something to contribute. That's something we'll do on the show today. I'm going to go through all the tools that I've been posting on GitHub. Do a little demo of those. Let me fix this music. I don't know what this is. Let's try... Lo siento. All right. So what else we got going on? DBXen. Let's check out the DBXen charts. We've been getting a lot of movement over here with the DBXen NFTs coming out. I know I'm really pumped for Ethereum. You kind of see Ethereum pumped up, got all the way up to $3 and pulled back a little bit. But I bet that's right near our golden pocket. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's almost perfect. So we get that big pump in anticipation of the DBXen NFTs. We get the nice pullback. And I bet we get another leg up, you know, next week, right before it launches. People are going to want to buy their DBXen, stake it in the DBXen NFTs. And man, that's been pretty awesome. I've been getting some crazy yield. The first day, I ROI'd on AVAX and on Phantom. I got like 2.5 AVAX back. That was really, really nice. I'm still stuck in 21 when, you know, AVAX was $70 and BNB was $500. I see it asking for 8 BNB. I'm like, holy shit, that is so much money. That is kind of interesting, the dynamics of the native coin. AVAX is kind of the sweet spot. You know, Phantom's a little too cheap. Ethereum and BNB are pretty expensive. It's gonna cost 5 to 10 ETH to wrap a DBXen NFT, you know, Zenturion. Luckily, all my DBXen NFT, or all my regulars NFTs are small VMUs, you know, 5 and 10 VMUs. So I'll be able to use those and only, you know, not have a super crazy protocol fee. Thanks, Globetrotter. Hell yeah. Yeah, quit drinking on my own. I mean, it wasn't like a, you know, forced thing or anything, but yeah, it's a while ago, about 1.5 years ago. And then Zen happened and I was all happy. Let's see what we got here. I feel so out of practice with these charts. It's been a couple weeks. I'm not used to the price action. Let's take a look at Matic DBXen, and this is just moving sideways. Oh, we're looking at the 1 minute. Let's see here. But yeah, it's just kind of stuck between 7 and 8 cents. So now that the DBXen NFT is launched on Polygon, on Matic, I'm curious what's going to happen with DBXen. Are people going to be buying more to stake them to keep their power up? And what are the dynamics of that going to look like, you know, over time? DXen price prediction to DBXen NFT launch. It's really hard to say. It's hard to say because the supply is all weird. It's such a small supply, so if there's any type of buy pressure at all, the chart will start to look like this. Oops. You know, what's kind of interesting is it did follow this. So if we come into here, we can turn on... Yeah. Here, let's flip this. So if you look at the fib levels, it got up to like 280, 284, 290. So that's the first target I'd look at. You know, hopefully we need to get back and reclaim this top. If we do that and we start going, we might hit these fib levels at $3.76 and then super bullish at $5. Like, could you see a $5 DBXen? I think that's a little high. I really do. I don't know if it's actually going to get up to $5. I don't think it'll ever get back up to like the $100 that we saw. But anything could happen. That's the thing with these low supply tokens. If a real demand comes in, you know, the supply and demand will really kick in and it'll explode. But who's gonna buy it, you know? Everybody that knows about DBXen's buying it, but we just got to get the word out, really. It's such an awesome DeFi project. I'm curious of what have your guys' strategy been? Let's dive into that. Let's go take a look at the DBXen NFTs. on Polygon, I didn't really go in as hard as I wanted. I only did a couple hundred DBXen. So I didn't really get a very powerful one at first. But then on Phantom, I just went all in. You know, it was cheap, so I put all my Phantom in there. So this is the Polygon one. I should name these. That'd be funny. You want P2P network? Yeah, for XENBLOCKS? Me too. So yeah, we're getting about 7 Matic out of our elephant here. I got about 1,000 DBXen staked. And I'm just kind of letting this go. I'm not sure. I'm kind of watching the power. You know, it dwindles down every day. You can load some more DBXen in there and it'll increase the power and it'll get your yield up. But I'm just kind of watching, just kind of seeing what happens here. Let's go check out the Avalanche one. I haven't checked these today either. You know, day 2 of the, I guess day 3. You drop your 5K DX. Yeah, I did. Let's take a look. So I got this guy. This guy's pretty normal. I kind of like that he's not like weird colors. He's kind of a normal colors. It's interesting. So I didn't get my fees. I guess because I staked yesterday, so I must have unclaimed, or I must have claimed it this morning. But yeah, I put about 2,000 into AVAX, and that first night it was like 1.5 AVAX, or 2.5 AVAX. Yeah, I guess I did claim these this morning. I thought I didn't. I thought I was gonna. I was kind of excited to see the yield on the show, but all right, let's see what we got on Phantom here. Got another purple guy. Yeah, and on the Phantom I have 3,879 staked. And it got me 4 Phantom. But I'll just leave it here, and I'll leave it staked. I really like DBXen. I like the yield. It's always nice, especially when you have you're minting and you're claiming regulars NFTs. This kind of always gives you the gas fees to cover those. So it's kind of nice. The DBXen NFT site doesn't load for me. Check your wallet. I've noticed a couple weird things. Like when I'm trying to stake and I don't have enough gas fees, it doesn't give me a warning. It just doesn't work. But if I check the JavaScript, it is trying to display a warning, like in the console or whatever. That's how I found out, oh, I don't have enough gas, but it doesn't tell you that you don't have enough gas. You just hit the button and nothing happens. Binance is the one that got me wildin'. I was so excited, and then I saw, like, here, I'll show you. Yeah, this guy's pretty cool, the yellow and green. So I got 3 zeros, 8. That's pretty rough. But I went to, I have some pretty big Zenturions on Binance, using the 1GUI node. They've been kind of sitting for a while. And I went to wrap one of these. Like this one. This one's 1.4. And the protocol fee's 8 BNB. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh. It's $1,684 to wrap my NFT. That's insane. I definitely don't have 8 BNB. I've never had 8 BNB. That's a lot of money. If I had $1,000, it would not be in BNB. I wish I could participate with my full thing. But that's what's kind of cool about DBXen. It's different across the chain. So while it's 8 BNB over there, on Phantom, it's only 8 Phantom, which is like, you know, I think that it's about 30 cents right now for Phantom. So instead of a couple $1,000, it's a couple bucks. If the site's not loading, you might want to try some different RPCs. You know, those are these networks right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just kind of chilling on DBXen. You know, I got my elephants. I'm really excited to participate in the Ethereum one. But Avalanche has been my favorite one so far, for sure. At least as far as the yields, you know, it made the most sense for the cost to create it and the cost to stake it. Let's turn that down a little bit. I was curious if they were going to launch on these other chains too. I haven't really. I don't think the layer 2 experiment went very well, to be honest. I'm not sure if you guys are participating in those, but when you don't get the yield that you're used to, you know, the gas fees are so cheap on Optimism and Base and chains like Arbitrum and ZK Sync that, you know, the coins like DBXen won't work, where they're not collecting very many protocol fees because the gas is so cheap. So there's not really much yield. You know, you're earning pennies, but the protocol fees that you need, it's so strange because of the refund. You know, it'll ask you to hold 1 ETH, but then it'll send back 0.8 ETH. You know, it doesn't really make sense. I want to say this looks like it's finding a bottom, but we've seen it's just been a falling knife all the way down. But DBXen on Optimism is sitting at 5 cents right now. That's honestly a lot higher than I thought it was. I thought it'd be under a penny. Yeah, DBXen's one of my favorite projects for sure, as far as DeFi goes, especially with these NFTs. So is it true that OpenSea also delisted DB's NFTs? It's the more footballs. Shout out Trevon. But let's see. So yeah, this is probably a fake one right here. So be careful with these. Or did they bring it back? I'm not sure. Crypto minting torrent. But yeah, fuck OpenSea. That's another thing going on right now. And there have been so many problems with so many problems with OpenSea and their centralized company. They do insider trading. You know, they would put certain NFT projects on the front of their site, and then they'd front run those. Then everyone would see the ads, they'd buy the NFTs, and then they would just dump on everybody's heads. That's kind of what OpenSea's MO is. You know, they front run you, they take money, they have this weird fee structure where they get to keep a bunch of the fees. It is just the most centralized NFT marketplace you can imagine. Especially when there's alternatives like Blur. You know, use something like Blur. Really what we need is someone within the community to create a Zen marketplace where we can trade XenFTs, the different classes of XenFTs, we can trade DB's NFTs. And then we also have like the other offshoots, like the you know, the Zen punks and the VGens. Bro, I minted a Zenturion for $185. That's so awesome. Let's see, did that go through? Let's go take a look. Yeah, that did. I got one under, went through at 4.9. That is nuts. Great time to be minting Zen. You know, if you believe in the project, you get 10 VMUs for 16 bucks. That's $1.60 each. In a Zen NFT. And the vanilla mints are even cheaper right now. But yeah, fuck OpenSea. That's what we woke up to. And it didn't really sink in until I saw Jack tweeting about it. You know, I saw people talking about, you know, we have to create our own marketplace, and, you know, where can I buy and sell XenFTs and DBXenFTs. And then I saw Jack post. Maybe they put it back and he deleted it. That's interesting. Yeah, right here. OpenSea decided to stop supporting XenNFT officially, as NFTs appear as financial instruments. Likely they worry XenNFTs are securities, which they are not, obviously, since users make them by minting. Yeah, it's just their lack of understanding. You know, and they can have their policy, you know, if they don't want financial instruments on their, but they're NFTs. I mean, it's, I guess they're trying to draw a line. You know, I guess if you can store a token within an NFT, then it can't be on OpenSea. That's basically what they're saying. Shout out to Joseph. Your DB's NFTs are nothing short of fire. With 4 successful chain deployments, look like you're on your way to reign number 1. And then OpenSea comes and shits on us. That's crazy. You can mint as I might have to do that. I don't have a Zenturion yet. I like to do like 10 to 20 VMUs normally. I usually don't do the max mints on ETH just because it's so expensive, but when Gwei is like 5, you can get it for less than 200 bucks. That's nice. All right, let's get into the XenBlockS stuff. I just realized I'm sitting here, I forgot to sync the node. I wanted to have the node sync so I can, so let's do that real quick. We'll get the node syncing live on stream. So if you guys are into XenBlockS, if you believe in the project, one of the things you can do to help strengthen the network is run SyncNode. And basically SyncNode just downloads a copy of the database, and it'll be used for verifying transactions. And it's basically the same as running like a Bitcoin node or a you know, just any other type of node. Save this real quick. Make a new folder called projects. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is run SyncNode and get a copy of the database going. To do that, you come over to the official Zen Miner site on Jack1174 GitHub. And this will just download the entire database to a .db file that you can read and you can manipulate, and you can do things like query your address and see when they enable it. You'll be able to see transactions and everything. Send nodes, that's funny. So let's do it. All right, so we got our Zen Miner folder. Let's see if I can make this bigger for you guys. Cool. All right. So to run the sync node, it's a Python script, so you have to have Python installed first, and then you just type in Python syncnode.py, and then your address. And now it's going out to the blockchain and it begins fetching records. It's basically storing them in this file. Grab this folder here. So it's grabbing these database records and it's storing them in this file called blockchain.db. as the blockchain grows, as there's more blocks added, as transactions and data get stored in the blockchain, this blockchain file will actually increase. So you look at a blockchain like Bitcoin, I think its file is hundreds of gigabytes. What is the size of Bitcoin's blockchain? So Bitcoin's blockchain is up to 516 gigabytes. So it's a half a terabyte. Right now, the XenBlocks is less than 1 gigabyte. Last I checked, it was like 800 megabytes. It might be more than that now. But same sync node with GPU. Yeah, sync node's kind of separate. It doesn't really use the miner PY or the GPU miner. It just basically creates a copy of the database. Once it gets fully synced, it actually stops running. So I like to use a batch file. Here, let me grab this batch file here. And basically this batch file just loops it. So if I run this, oh, it started over, that sucks. But it basically runs the job. Once it gets to the job, it'll wait 30 seconds and then it restarts the sync node script and it'll resync the blockchain. And then it'll add the new blocks that are added in the time that it's resyncing. And that way it's constantly staying up to date. So with a site like Joseph, you know, with Zen.pub, with all those statistics, he basically, he probably has multiple. He has, you know, at least one of these running, and then he pulls the records and it stores it in the database that Zen.pub uses. And it's basically pulling it live from Jack's RPC server. So eventually these will be the RPC servers and these will be the decentralized nodes that everyone can read the blockchain on. So by running sync node, you're essentially running a node that other nodes can communicate with and read copies of the blockchain and use it to verify transactions, use it to verify blocks. And that's why it's important to not only mining gets the hash power and the security up, but the sync node also adds like a layer of redundancy. You know, we have copies of the blockchain out there. So I'm not sure how long this will take. But so once you have a fully synced node, you have the full blockchain DB, then you can come over to my GitHub, check out my repositories, and there's some fun ones. You can actually create some charts. We'll do that here in a few minutes once it gets fully synchronized. You can actually do a block explorer type Python script where you put in your address. You can see how many blocks you've mined, how many blocks of certain type, like Zunies, how many super blocks you have, and you can see charts for your account, like how many blocks you've added. It kind of makes a little line chart or a bar chart. A lot of cool stuff. And I'm learning as I go. You know, I'm no Python expert or anything, but using ChatGPT and some basic understanding of code structure, it really goes a long way. I just hope I'm doing everything right. I feel it. So what's happening, Zenjo? You're mining blocks and you see them being mined, but they're not showing up. You might want to confirm that you have the address updated. You might be mining under the default address. So if you check your config.conf file, make sure your address is listed in there, not the default one. I would start there. Alright, so we're up to 1,000 blocks. Fetched block with Merkle root. So this is gonna take a while. But while we wait on that, let's check out this other tool I made. This one's pretty sweet. I've been wanting to make this one for a while. I really want to make this into a website, but I haven't got that far. I have to figure out the data storage and all that. But the ZenNFT calendar export tool. This is such a basic tool. It's a very simple Python script. All you have to do is install Python, install the prerequisites and the requirements.txt, just like you would with the miner. If you're using the Zen miner, you're familiar with how to do that. Install the requirements file. And then you just run the script, and it asks for your address, and then it scans all the blockchains for your ZenNFTs, and it exports it to a calendar file. And you can take this calendar file and you can import it into Google, you can import it into your phone, your Apple calendar, your Android calendar. If you have Outlook, you can import it into Outlook. And it's basically just all your ZenNFTs in there when they're ready to mature, you know, and then you get alerted. It shows up on your calendar when you have a ZenNFT due. So it's been huge for me. So Zenjo says, I just hope I'm doing everything right now. My address is listed. It shows it while mining. It's under the address part. Gotcha. That's interesting. We'll have to talk after the stream. I wonder if it could be a networking thing. When you find the block, there should be a status code, and it should say like status code 200. If it says 200, that means it connected to the RPC server successfully, and it basically saved the block. If it says something else, like an error, you might have some internet issues or some DNS issues resolving the name. So how's the sync node doing? So yeah, we're already up to 2000s. So we'll let this run. While this runs, let's try out the ZenNFT calendar export. This is such a simple tool, and I think it's really helpful. I'm really proud of this one. So I'll give you guys a demo here right now. All right. So as I mentioned, get this all situated here. All right. So we gotta open the folder first. It's ZenNFT, calendar, export main. Type in dir. We can see everything in the folder here. So what are these files? We have the requirements.txt, which has the list of requirements. We have the two JSON ABI files. These are the ABI is the application interface. That's how you communicate with the contract. And they're actually pretty huge file. It's a huge long JSON list. So when you put it in a Python script, it doesn't do a very good job because it's so long. It has to process. It really slows things down. So I put it in these separate files so it reads it quicker. Easier for keeping the Python file short. So you really just need these three and the prerequisites installed, the Python file and the two ABI JSON files. Once you got those, we have to install these three prerequisites. So it's going to be the same old, whoops. Here, let's do it like this. There we go. So we have to install these three prerequisites here, and it's going to be pip install web3. It's going to go through, install the web3 package. Then we'll install pip install tabulate. Tabulate is just it's kind of a cool add-on. It just basically makes these formatted tables, makes it very easy. And then we'll do pip install ICS. All right, so now we have our prerequisites installed. All we have to do is run the Python file. It's python ZenNFT export.py. Oof. I'm all zoomed in here. There we go. All right, so this is the ZenNFT export. Export your ZenNFTs to to an ICS file and import them into Google Calendar, created by me. If you use the tool, you like it, hopefully you'll buy me a coffee, but it's free open source software. Feel free to take it, make it your own, do whatever you like with it. But when you start the Python script, it asks for your address. It asks for your EVM address, so this can be any of the Zen chains. If you want to get your Phantom list, your Binance list, your Moonbeam list, if you want to get all the lists, you have them all in the same address, you just pop that account in there. It's also compatible with ENS names, so if I put in TreeCityWes, it'll actually convert that to the checksum name and then use it for all the other addresses. So just for example, I'll put in TreeCityWes.eth. So it brings me to the menu. With this menu, it gives me a list of all the EVM chains that Zen is on. You can see Ethereum, Binance, Polygon, etc. At the top, it has the address. Option 0 is honestly the best option. It'll search every chain for your XenFTs, and then it'll display them on the screen as it searches. So if I hit 0 here, it's going to search every chain. Now it is a little slow. It does take a few minutes to run, but you can see it found 57 on Ethereum, 16 on Binance, 47 on Polygon, and it just kind of checks each network. It's using public RPCs. These RPCs are free to use. Same RPCs that you interact with the chains on your wallet when you're using your wallet. It's basically just querying the contract really quick, asking how many NFTs does this person have, and then it pulls all the information, including the maturity date, what type it is, what chain it's on. So you can see I don't have any on Ethereum Proof of Work, Moonbeam, EVMOS. Got a bunch on Ethereum, Binance, Polygon, and AVAX. Got 55 on Phantom. Oh, I thought I had 69 on Pulsechain. I got 70. Craig Crypto, it finds mints done on Zen Turbo. This only does NFTs, so it doesn't do vanilla mints, it doesn't do Coin Tool or Zen Turbo mints. These are only XenFTs. So now that I found all the NFTs, you can see I found them on Optimism and Base and Pulsechain and Phantom, all these different chains. Now I have 4 options. I can either display the data on screen only, I can go back to the chain selection and select individual chains if I didn't want all of them, or I can export it to a calendar file. So let's go ahead and display it on screen. Let me zoom out a little bit here. So you can see it actually displays all of the different NFTs. It's actually cut off on my screen here, but you see it has base Zen torrent, so it has the network, the name, the number of basically the token ID. It has the class, so it's Ruby, the number of VMUs. I'll have to look at the code. I'll have to update it. It looks like it's cutting it off at the top, but this is basically what it'll export to the calendar file. So now you can choose option 1 and export all that information to a calendar file. And you run it, it basically says iCalendar file, all chains, NFT ICS created. That's successful. If we come back to our folder where the scripts are running, we now have this ICS file. Let's see what happens when I open this. It looks like it's tied to some program. Ah, I can import it into Outlook. So by default, it wants to import it into my Outlook. So I did. So this is my my Outlook here. You can see it created all of these different appointments. Here, let me do it like this. So now you can see I have all these different appointments. These are actual XenFTs that are due at these date and time. So now it'll remind me on October 14th. It'll remind me on October 14th at 8:03 a.m. that Phantom Zen Torrent has reached maturity. Very easy, very simple to use, a basic Python script, and I feel like it's a useful tool. You know, it shows it's something so simple, but it's actually useful. Something I needed because I missed a couple mints. You know, I didn't have them labeled in my calendar, or I didn't check Zenmon. You know, with Zenmon, you're kind of tied to the website. With this simple Python script, I can actually export it to my personal calendar and be reminded, get an alert on my phone rather than having to check the website every couple days. So something I put out there. It's completely free. If you know how to run the Zenium, the Zen block miner, it's the same type of thing. It's a Python script. Just run the Python script, Python's NFT export. Make sure you got the prereqs installed, and that's the calendar export. So yeah, it has the time too. I didn't expect it to pull the time. I thought that was really awesome. That was a pleasant surprise when I was I figured it would just be the date and it would say like midnight or something annoying, and I'd have to figure out how to fix that, but it actually pulled the time that it matures at, so that's really nice. Troy forgot ETH-POW existed for a while. Yeah, same. I never touched ETH-POW. That always kind of freaked me out. So yeah, feel free to come over to my GitHub. That's one of the scripts I've been working on. Let's take a look at this, see how this is doing. Fetch block with Merkle root 6,000. I think it's up in the 7,000s or 8,000s now. Or no, there's over 1 million blocks. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking through. It's interesting, it's not writing the file either, so I can't really, until it finishes. We're kind of stuck, but we'll just let that run. Hopefully it finishes shortly. Come check out the repos. I also created this Zenium miner setup, so I've been using this. This is such an easy guide just for copying and pasting. You know, if you have to set up a miner quickly, you just come in here, you copy and paste these commands, it'll get you going really quickly. Speaking of which, why don't we go check on one of my pods while we're waiting on the, we're waiting. My dumbass, I loaded a bunch of money on RunPod, and then I found Vast AI. Vast is so much cheaper. It's such better. It's been a better experience. But my money was stuck on RunPod, so I figured, all right, let's just do it. So I got two 3090s running right now. I've been liking the 3090s. I think it's the best bang for your buck right now. It's not as expensive as the 4090s. Ugh. Let's do this. Come on now. There we go. Let's restart it. Make it look pretty. So I don't know if you guys have set up the TMUX server, but it's my preferred method of doing the mining with the windows. I think it just looks the nicest. It's easy to use. It takes 2 extra seconds, and you can see all your windows at once. So you can actually split it into windows. So right now I'm running 2 GPUs on this pod. I have 2 3090s. So on the bottom half of my window, you can see got me. I hate when that happens. Okay, let's restart it just for the heck of it. That's the other thing I'm not really a fan of with RunPod. Sometimes the hotkeys conflict. Like I want to run Control B, but it brings up the stupid sidebar rather than what it would actually do in Linux. So we run the TMUX script. and it just starts it. It's nice and neat, nice and easy to read. So right now, difficulty's fallen quite a bit. It almost got up to 100,000. I don't think it ever got over 100,000. I know it was in the 90s though, and it fell all the way down. Right now it's 69,400. So with this 3090, I'm getting over 3,000 hashes a second. Right now I'm getting 3,200 times 2. So that's pretty nice. Paying about 65 cents for, what is that, 6,500 hashes a second. It's pretty solid. Kentabo refunded me. Hell yeah, that's good. How can I get in contact with you? Zenjo, you should join the Telegram. So if you come over to hashhead.io, also we had some big updates here on Hashhead. Redid the site. I rebuilt it on WordPress rather than just the single HTML file. But if you come down to the links down here, there's the Telegram, and the Telegram with XENBLOCKS has been unbelievable. It's just been a group of people willing to help anybody who has questions, anybody that comes in there. You know, we're translating to different languages and trying to help everybody we can set up their miner. So if you get stuck, if you have questions, come over to hashhead.io and then join the official XenBlocks Telegram. You click on this, it should take you right into here. And then join the Telegram. See, we're already over 2,000 members, 2,420. Hell yeah. And then while you're on Hashhead, why don't you buy me a coffee? That'd be awesome. I really appreciate all the support. You know, everybody that's bought me a coffee. It's been such an amazing outreach. It makes me so happy because I've made huge, big mistakes trying to host this website. You know, I had the Vercel app running. I had a mistake in my code. It caused my serverless functions to go crazy. And Vercel's like, sorry, you have $200 in overages and that's your fault. We're not going to refund anything. They don't care that I'm a noob. So everything that's been donated and, you know, for the work that we've been doing, it's really appreciated. You're in the Telegram already? Well, hell yeah, after the stream, just tag me, you know, TreeCityWes. I'll be happy to help you out. We can DM, I'll find you in there. RunPod makes me nervous. Mine keeps stopping. I don't really have that problem with Vast or with TensorDoc. Vast was weird though. I couldn't sign in. I had to use a VPN to create my account. And then once I created my account, I had no issues. But these prices are so cheap, you know, especially for the 3090s. 22 cents, 21 cents. Why don't we spin one up right now? Yeah, let me get signed in. You know what? Never mind. I don't have the SSL on this machine. That's one really cool thing I learned with the VPS machines. You don't have to do the password authentication. You can set up the private key with the public key. So you put the public key on their end, and as long as your private key matches, it authenticates. You don't even need a password. It's amazing. I love that shit. What's up, Zen NFTs? Welcome, welcome. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Let's go check on the, all right, yeah, we're getting up there. So we have 9,500 Merkle roots fetched. I believe that corresponds with this number. So I think we're gonna need 24,000. So we might be halfway there. I might be wrong too. I'm not sure exactly. We'll just let this run for a bit, see what happens. Once this syncs up, we can I'll show you guys the other scripts. But what other fun stuff do we have on the GitHub? Hell yeah, that's awesome. Crypto, are you doing the are you using the tmux script, or are you using the screen command, or how are you switching between the miner and the GPU window? Hell yeah. Thanks, Miggy, welcome. Always good to see new faces. I don't normally run code in your day job. I mean, I do, but nothing like this. Like, I just work in IT, so most of my job's focused around, you know, Windows computers and Windows servers. I'm pretty good with Windows, Microsoft Windows servers, Windows environment, you know, managing small and medium-sized businesses. I don't really mess with Python coding. You know, I might do some PowerShell scripts or some, you know, batch files, but it's never anything advanced. Never anything fun like this either. Like, I've never wanted to code, but I needed to solve the problem of getting my XenFTs into my calendar. You know, when I have hundreds of them, I don't want to do it, so manual. So I made the script to do it for me, and I just wanted to share it with everybody. I think I just kicked my camera. I know, it's really cool. The chat GPT has changed everything, especially the plus version with the advanced data analytics. It just makes talking about code so much easier. And it's not as easy as just saying, hey, give me a script that'll do this. You kind of have to know how it's formatted. And like, I'll ask about specific functions and like perfect that function. And then I'll add it to the whole body of code. Yeah, that's really how ChatGPT excels. It doesn't really work like when you tell it to make an entire script all at once. You kind of have to break it down into pieces. And when you break it down into pieces, you can do some really advanced stuff. Can we expect a Tree City project protocol? I was thinking about that. You know, the forest fire, the burning protocol with the pairing it with liquidity. But to be honest, I don't want to be held responsible. I don't want to have that responsibility of running a project. You know, I want to contribute to the ecosystem in a different way. And I kind of like building these tools on top of Zen. I don't know if I could. And also, there's so many new projects. I don't really feel like I need. Like, I feel like we have so many projects already. Speaking of new projects, I'm pretty excited for XenGarbageDump too. That's going to be a fun one. Hell yeah. More coffee. I love that. Thank you so much. Shout out to Scott. All right, let me see here. So this is still going. We're up to 11,000 fetched blocks. What's weird though is it's not updating the database file. Check something else here. Yeah. Well, we'll let that run. XENBLOCKS is new territory where more can be built. Oh yeah, for sure. Man, there's so much I want to build, like an actual block explorer. You know, I've been kind of looking into that, but it's so far over my head. You know, I have to figure out how to store data in a database and access it from a website first. I've been kind of looking into next.js and node.js and all these things that I never thought I'd find interesting. Web development, different platforms and stuff. But it's been a blast learning about it for sure. I'm waiting on my next super block. I'd like to show the block explorer, but this is definitely taking a lot longer than I thought. How many blocks should I be mining on my PC? As many as you can. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. If you actually come over here, it'll tell you. So if you pop in your address to hashhead.com, you come down to the bottom, it'll tell you your blocks per day. So right now I'm running four or five 3090s, a 1080, and an AMD 6900. And I'm getting about 117 blocks per day. So it really just depends on your hash power, your hash rate. And And I highly suggest if you come over to Hashhead, definitely check out all of the community resources, especially Zen.pub. Yeah, that's another big one. They have some awesome statistics. They have the network tracker and they have the account tracker. So you can come over here, pop in your address, and you get some really interesting statistics, way more than Hashhead. What does 3060 mean? That's the model of the GPU. So there's like a RTX 3060, RTX 3070, 3090. So that's the model. I think the newest one is the 4090. It's like if you come over here, it's just these numbers. RTX 3080, 3070. So like I've been getting the most bang for my buck with the RTX 3090, the 3090. But on RunPod it's 34 cents an hour. On Vast it's like 20 cents an hour. So it's way cheaper over on Vast. So let's go take a look at my dashboard here. So you can see, yeah, I got in pretty early. I was mining as early as the 18th. And I was actually mining before that, but I don't think the database kicked in until after 200,000. So when I check my super blocks and everything kind of shows up on the 16th and the 17th, which is interesting. How many hashes do you do with your 3060? Yeah, they're 3090s. They get about, yeah, let's take a look. They're getting about 3,200 each. So getting about 6,500 hashes per second on two of them right here. If I adjust the window, it's gonna look all stupid. Here, let me do this. Oh, that button doesn't work anymore. Uh-oh. Hey. That button works.
He's on fire!
You got 7 blocks in less than 2 hours? Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, if you're interested in those kind of stats, definitely head over to Zen.pub. You can see your last 200 blocks and where they were. So my last 4 blocks were Zuni blocks. All at the top of the hour. You can see your hourly progress. Let's do this. So last hour I got 8 regular blocks and 4 Zunis. So I'm getting, you know, between 5 and 10 blocks an hour. Around 1 o'clock I got 10 blocks in an hour. That was the best hour. It's interesting. And I think that's because I had all my stuff running when we ran out for the day. But you can see the difficulty started increasing and my block production started going way down. And then now the difficulty's falling and my block production's going way up. So I'm really maintaining kind of close to the same hash power, but my block production's being affected by the big swing in difficulty. Which is good. I mean, it's volatile. I think a lot of people jumped in not knowing how much 20, 30, 40 cents per hour actually costs. You know, 20 cents per hour is like, I think it's almost 200 bucks a month. So that's something to keep in mind. What does the difficulty mean? So difficulty has to do with the hash power. So and it's the same difficulty as Bitcoin. If you're familiar with Bitcoin mining, the more miners that come in, it contributes to the whole hash power of the network. If you go over to Hashhead, you click on the XenBlocks leaderboard. Let it load up here. You'll see that the mining block rate is 61 blocks per minute. So this is actually pegged to 60 blocks per minute. When more miners come into the network, this goes up. So it'll say 65 blocks, 70 blocks per minute. Well, since it's pegged to 60, it'll actually become more difficult. It adjusts the algorithm so it's harder to mine blocks to get the blocks per minute down back to 60. So when more miners come in, the hash power goes up. It becomes more difficult for individuals to mine. So you see your block production go way down because the blockchain's pegged to 60 blocks per minute. And this also allows you to predict what's going to happen with the difficulty. So right now we're at 61 blocks per minute. That means it's going to get more difficult. That means there's more miners. The block rate's going up to 61. It's going to have to become more difficult. It's going to adjust the algorithm. The difficulty is going to increase. It's going to be harder for individuals to mine individual blocks because there's more hash power. So when this goes way up, you know, if this doubles, the difficulty could be 120,000. It'll still make 60 blocks per minute, but there's going to be 2,000 miners. So there's less blocks to go around. It's more difficult for individual miners because the number of miners or the number of hash power goes up. There's only ever going to be 60 blocks a minute. Hashing might drop to 2 to 3 weeks when monthly subs drop, assuming they drop. Yeah, I feel that. Have you noticed if there's better times for hashing? Not yet. I haven't really noticed. I'm sure there are though, and it also depends on the rates. Like sometimes these miners pop up on Vast.ai, the GPUs, I mean, the cards, the pods, if you will, and they're like, it'll be 8 cents an hour for a 3090, and then 6 hours later, the cheapest one's like 30 cents. And it really depends on how cheap you can get your miner going for. So hopefully that answers your questions then, Joe, about difficulty. We will only ever make 60 blocks per minute. So when more miners come in, there's less blocks to go around. That means it's more difficult. Also, the difficulty makes the miners use more memory. So it's kind of hard to explain, but graphics cards only have so much memory, and so does your computer. And that's why when your graphics card exceeds the memory, it'll crash and it'll say, you know, out of memory or out of range. And that's because your miner is trying to use more memory than the graphics card has, and it crashes. So you kind of have to force it to be slower, and that's what that batch setting is. The dash B 128 and the GPU miner, it batches the submission, so it uses less memory, and it allows your miner to run without shutting down and overloading the memory. I've not followed XenBlocks for a bit of time now. What are normal blocks for, super blocks and Zuni blocks these days? So it's really just the hashes. So when hashes are found, here, where's my Jupyter? Perfect example. Okay, so we have this hash. This is a Zuni block. So it has this hash right here. You can see right here, it's kind of hard to see, but it says XUNI in the hash. So since it says Zuni inside of the hash, that means it's a Zuni hash. That counts as me mining it. I found that hash, it has Zuni in it. It was between 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. I mined it, it's mine. So that super blocks and regular blocks are basically the same thing. Instead of Zuni, they have Zen 11, but super blocks are more rare because they have 65 capital letters. So regular blocks say Zen 11, super blocks say Zen 11 and have 65 capital letters, and then Zuni blocks say Zuni, which is only 4 characters, which means it's way easier to find, but you can only find it for that time period, 10 minutes at the top of the hour. Different graphics cards take different amount of power, more cost per hour, more money spent by the person running it. Yep, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the price varies per hour, and a lot of these, especially on RunPod and Vast AI, the cheaper ones are the community ones, and that's just some guy in his basement running a graphics card in his home PC. and they're basically allowing you to mine crypto on it, which is awesome. But you never really know if it's gonna, if they lose power, or if they turn their computer off, if they don't have their settings right, if they're gonna try to do something malicious. You know, you don't know. It's not as professional as a professional data center, but that's why it's so much cheaper. You know, you're really kind of taking that risk and getting a much cheaper, or you can pay for that reliability. And RunPod, I think they call it, yeah. So there's the secure cloud, which are the dedicated in their data center, but they're more expensive. You know, here a 4090 is 74 cents. If I come over to the community cloud, a 4090 64 cents, but it's not guaranteed. It's basically someone's garage or basement or their bedroom, or you might be lucky and it's some data center. You know, it's really taking a risk on where it is, but it's cheaper. You know, it makes it cost less. Can we pull and run community? It might come to that. It might come to that eventually. I wouldn't want to do that because there's no way to transfer it right now. So whoever, you know, we could all set the same wallet and run it to a pool, but whoever owns that wallet could just keep it. There's no way to set up like a smart contract to transfer it. But if there was, I would be all for it. That'd be pretty cool. If you could like split super blocks and get like chunks of super blocks because there's so much hash power in the pool. Early days of BTC time, so no need, it'll come to that. Same with ASICs, like I have a feeling a company will develop, if this continues to grow at the pace that it is, and we get transactions and immutability and we have nodes. Speaking of, yeah, it's still doing its thing here. Totally just lost my train of thought there. I want to play with the sync node. Let's go. It's taking too long. Ooh, this is different. Nice, nice, nice. I was just looking at the new miner file. There's this indexing folder I didn't notice, added a couple days ago. It's got some new Python scripts to pull data out of the database. Check rate, check sequence, count miners, manage difficulty. If you really want to know about the difficulty, come pop this one into ChatGPT. Okay, but what will those blocks be for? It's up in the air. Nobody really knows. It's all speculation at this point, Timo. That's why it's hard for me when people start talking about like price and stuff, or like, to me it's just a game at this point. I want to be on the leaderboard. I want to be in the top 20, top 25. And I want to be able to make these tools and these scripts and stuff and have fun with it. You know, eventually, when there is money attached to it, that's when the whales are going to come in, and that's when it's going to get, players like me will get washed out. So I'm happy to be here early in case that ever happens. I'm in a good position, but the way that it feels right now, you know, I'm in love with it. It feels like we're building the network organically, and anything could happen. In my head, I kind of think of like super blocks as like the currency. Like those are going to be the big stores of value, like a big Bitcoin. The regular blocks are going to be kind of the gas, like almost like the like if you think of how VeChain is, I don't know if you're familiar with VeChain, but they have the VET token, which is the store of value. But then they also have the VTHOR, which is the gas token. So when you stake your VET, you earn VTHOR, and then you can basically transact on the network for free because you're always getting more gas. You know, you stake your store of value token, and then you get more gas. I kind of picture it being like a dual token system like that. And then the Zunies, or maybe they're like some kind of bridge staking or something. Like, who knows? It's complete speculation. But the super blocks obviously have the most rarity. So it could be a situation like you stake your super blocks and then you earn regular blocks or something like that. But they're also going to be called things like, I keep calling them regular blocks, but now it's called Zenium. You know, you're going to stake your super Zenium for Zenium or something like that. I already got burned out by mining a long time ago. I feel that this is my first experience with crypto mining, and I can see how expensive it gets. Yeah, I'm trying to. Eventually, I'll just be running 1 or 2 3090s, and that's going to be it. But it is kind of fun to spin it up on the weekend and watch it and see it increase. And my goal is to get to 10,000. Once I get to 10,000, I'm at 9,800 right now. So that's when I'll kind of start worrying about costs. But right now, I feel like I'm in a mad dash to get 10,000 before difficulty gets too crazy. What's going to be up Zen now that XBlocks and Zenium exist and super blocks? Zen's kind of completely different. You know, Zen is a complete thing. You know, Zen will be used. You know, we got the XenGarbageDump, we got DBXen doing its thing. We got DBXen launching on Ethereum next week. It's doing its thing. You know, XenBlocks is an experiment. I wouldn't even compare the two, you know. In the future, if you want to speculate, but this is all hopium. You know, we really don't. In the ZenBlocks Telegram, we always say, you know, no hopium, no speculation. We're in the now trying to build this network. But you know, maybe it'll have some link to X1. Maybe it'll be like a proof of work side chain, or you know, some other. Maybe it's just a completely separate blockchain that has nothing to do with Zen. Just don't buy pizza with that 10,000. Yeah, I feel that for sure. I got a few blocks now back to XMR and BTC. Nice. So you're mining the Monero. I'm curious how that goes. What's up, Tech Ken? Welcome. Let's see what happens here. I think this will stop at 24,000 and we're at 19,000 right now. But I'm not 100% sure. While we're waiting on that, has anybody tested the XenGarbageDump yet? I have not looked into it. Hell yeah, Tech Ken. That's been the best part. The best part, just learning how to do it. Learning the different nuances. And so many people got burned when the whole thing started. All right, let's see. I have not looked into this, so while we're waiting on the I don't even know if I have any girly okay, I got a little bit. I got 20 bucks. 20 bucks of some girly ETH. I don't think I have any Zen though. I might actually. So this is kind of an interesting interface. Some of this text is a little hard to read. Burning Zen to earn GD-Zen and ETH. The incinerator. Zero Zen. I vaguely remember like making mints before Zen launched. I wonder if they're on here. Was there a testnet.zen.network? Hey. Maybe not. No Zen for me. Please claim test XEN. Why they call it XEN? That's kind of funny. 7K APR is wild. Yeah, I doubt that'll stay that high once, just because this is testnet. I'm sure there's only like 50 people, less than 50 people doing this. The reward pool is 3 ETH. That's pretty cool. All right, so do we got some XEN? Waiting for some XEN at 1.5 Gwei. All right, we got 100 billion. Cool. All right, so what do we do here? So you can get some Zen. They're gonna take all my XEN. Trying to get it lined up so you guys can see what's happening. Alright. So burning Zen to earn GD Zen and ETH. So I'm gonna burn 10,000 Zen. The protocol of 2 ETH. And I'll get 11 XEC. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So is that like power then? Or I guess I'm just not getting it. Are these batches like DBXen? Okay, okay, okay. I see, these are batches. So if I burn 5 batches, it's gonna cost me $4. And it's gonna be a million ETH. 10 million Zen. That's funny, and it went to the trash can. Okay. So I burned, I'm estimated to get 9. Okay. So yeah, it is pretty similar to, it is similar to DBXen with the batches and everything. So we'll have to come back tomorrow. I know this launches pretty soon. This might be launching tomorrow, to be honest. Just lend us 1 or 2 for Zenians. Have I heard of the Pi Network? I have. I didn't take part in it, but I remember that back in the day. My friends trying to get me to. It's the mobile one where you run the app on your phone, and people have been mining Pi for years. I know that's starting to go live, but I saw there was some like crazy amounts. Like on the, because exchanges enabled the trading before it actually went live. All right, so we're up to 22,000. Nice, this might work out perfectly. This is interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the hang of this. So if I burn 10 batches, I'm burning 20 million Zen. And the protocol fee is 0.004 ETH. Set the number of batches you want to burn. 1 batch is 2 million. Oh, we're back to the Christmas music here. Ooh, energy drink. Don't know about that. I just started mining yesterday. The coin's $30. So I need to get the hang of this. This is interesting. So I can burn for XEC and I can burn for GDZen. So my first batches were burn Zen to earn GDZen and ETH. But now I'm burning to earn XEC. I think. So these are burn garbage coin. Oh, I see. So you can select the garbage coin. So here it'll have like Phoenix and all the other ones. Doge, Zen Doge and Zen Shiba and all that. You'll be able to select that here and then burn batches of those. Or you can just burn batches of FZen. So we'll burn 5 batches of FZen. Or no, these aren't batches. These are the actual. So if I wanted to burn 250 million, I'll get 165 XEC. But I don't have enough. Imagine Zenium at that price. Yeah, $30. That'd be nuts. Even super blocks at $30 would be nuts. Kind of looks like Zen.game. Not liking the fonts here, to be honest. Alright, we're getting close. We're in 24,000s. Alright, let's see here. What do we got going on? So this is cool. Nice little test. We'll come back here tomorrow. The next time we go live, we'll test out the garbage dump. We should have some coins to claim. Then maybe we could burn them. But this should be fun. I saved some of my Zen Doge and all that just to burn it within the garbage dump. So that'll be fun. Very cool. Shout out to the Chinese community, the Zen community. That's awesome. That should be fun. Okay, so let's take a look here. What we got going on? And as always, I hope you guys like, subscribe, and share. We are so close to being monetized on YouTube. I'm so excited. I've had this YouTube account for almost 20 years now. Or I'm sorry, 10 years. What year is it? I guess 13 years I've had this YouTube account and I'm finally monetized. It was funny because they wouldn't approve my account. They said I already had an AdSense account to it. And it was actually an AdSense account from like 2008. Or I'm sorry, from 2018 when I was doing music, and I completely forgot about it. And unfortunately it was disabled, but somehow I had set it up on my YouTube before they started the Earn program, and they're like, the only way you're gonna get this fixed is you can figure out what email it is. And I went through about 5 or 6 different Gmail accounts, finally found it, was able to unlink it, and now I'm like pending review. So once I get approved, we'll be able to do some fun things. Maybe we'll do some private chats, private streams. That should be fun. Any news when DBXen NFTs and other chains passed ETH? I have not heard. I'm not sure. I was kind of curious about that. If they're going to do optimism and base too. I imagine they will. I'm about to write you on Telegram. Sounds good. All right, so this is up to 25,000. So this is not the same number. It's got to be close though. Let's see here. Let's try something here. All right, so let's see if we can get this block explorer working. I don't think it's gonna work until this finishes though, but we'll try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so same type of situation. We have to have the files in the same folder. So here I downloaded the XenBlocks Explorer. It has the chart.py, the explorer.py, and the indexer with the requirements file. I'm gonna leave the README behind. Go ahead and copy those into the same folder as the sync node and the miner.py. So once we have those in here, all we should need to do is run the indexer. However, the database file is only 12 KB, so it's like empty. So I think we need to wait for it to fetch all the blocks, but that might take a while. Is anyone in here running sync node? Like, I wonder what the Merkle root blocks are up to. Might be able to see that on zen.pub. Let's see here. Wait for this to load up here. Base will be the most odd. 4 to 6 ETH for a 9-cent NFT is a bit of an ask. Yeah, they might just skip that. I could see them not launching on the side chains. Just that's kind of an experiment gone wrong. You know, AVAX kind of works because the native coin is, you know, $10, but when you start getting into the cheap gas, it doesn't work as well. But I was kind of curious if it had any block information here. So that's interesting. There's one super block every 15 minutes. So Tech-Ken, what Merkle root number are you up to? This is up to like 26,000. Yeah, this number right here. I know these aren't the actual block numbers. I think this is up to like the 30,000s now. 29,620. Okay, so you're at 29,620. This is at 26. So this should be done. Hopefully this should be done when it hits 29,620. Man, every year I try to wait as long as possible to turn the heat on. I don't want to turn it on, but I am getting so cold. It is so cold in here up in Ohio right now. Tonight might be the night. Gotta turn the heat on. I can do this with GPU mining as well. You mean the sync node? Yeah, you can just run the sync node. You can actually do that right in Windows. You don't have to be, like, I'm not running a miner on this PC right now or anything. I'm just running the sync node just to demonstrate the block explorer and everything. On Optimism, DBXen NFTs will be much cheaper than base, less Zen than the NFTs. That's true. That's true. I went to mint some on Optimism last night and I saw the EAA was gone. I was like, damn, that happened so fast. A lot of people going hard on Optimism early. Rightfully so, you know, with only 300 amp compared to 3,000 on the other chains. It's a whole different dynamic over there on Optimism. So shout out to the 19 watchers. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday night. We're just hanging out. Not much to do. Once this syncs up, I think this will sync up when we get to about 30,000, 29,620. When that happens, we'll go ahead and dive in. We're going to take a look at the XenBlocks Explorer here. I'll show you the charts. I'll show you the Explorer. I might need to update this. I haven't updated this in a year, and I know there's been a new version of sync node, so we'll kind of test it out. It might be a huge fail. We'll see what happens. But we're up to 27,600. Let's go see what's happening on the charts over here. Start mining on that PC and save the heat. Honestly, that's what I've been doing. This is the PC. I have to stop mining to run the stream though. That's the only thing. Yeah, this PC has a GeForce 1080 in it. So this is the 1080 that I'm always talking about. It's on this machine. So I had to stop mining here, but it does get warm in here when that thing's running. And then downstairs in the living room, I have the RTX 6900, which that's kind of a hassle. I'm a Windows. I like working in Windows, you know, just because of my work and everything. So I'll boot it to Windows, but to be able to mine on it with the AMD, I had to run Linux. So I popped an old solid state drive in there, 128 gig SSD. I loaded Ubuntu on it, and now when I go to bed or I leave for the day, I just boot to Ubuntu and start the miner, and that's getting about 900 hash a second. The 1080 here is only, it's getting barely 300, probably about 250. I could try to start it, but it's gonna flip everything out. Let's see. If this kills the stream, just blame Tech Ken. No, I'm just playing. Let's see what happens here. My video might get a little crazy. So first we'll start WSL. So you see we got our CD Zen GPU miner. Run the tmux script. tmux.sh. And then is this gonna freak everything out? Let's see. Am I all choppy now? I'm surprised it's holding up. So we're getting about 250 hashes a second while I'm live streaming with the same graphics card. Another cool tool, if you're in Windows, you can download the hardware monitor. Oh yeah, my computer's starting to feel it now. It's starting to get real slow. But this will tell you the temperature of all the devices on your computer. Let's find that. So my graphics card's sitting about 70 C right now, 70 Celsius. Can hear all the fans kicking on. Imagine a imagine a 13 GPU mining rig in that heat. Yeah, you could probably heat your whole house with that thing. I can't imagine the power that thing takes up. That's crazy. All right, we'll turn off the miner until after. But yeah, you can see the 1080s here getting about 250 hashes a second. I let that thing run whenever I'm not streaming, so it's pretty much going 24/7. All right, we're at 29,200. Is it gonna stop? Are we gonna be fully synced? So 29,300. Now you can stream fine. The card only uses 3D. Ah, interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't have any issues there. It kind of made my video choppy for a second, but it compensated. All right, let's see. 29,400. $29,500. All right. Hopefully, there's 29,600. Hopefully we get fully synced here. It creates our blockchain.db, and we shall see what happens. 29,700. 29,800. So we got quite a few. Hopefully these aren't individual blocks. If these are individual blocks, this might take all night. I might have to let this run. We'll follow up with it tomorrow. 29,900. To use Zenium on MetaMask, do we need the sync node? No, you don't. You don't. Yeah, the sync node's not required for anything. It's just more so, it helps the network. So if you can run it and you want to run these Python scripts and kind of check your blocks and everything, you can definitely do that. But it's not required. If you know, it's more so just a fun database to play with. Wish I could show you here. I don't know why this is being silly. Wonder if I could run the indexer. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so here you can see the blockchain database file just hit 1.1 gigabytes. So that's pretty big. That's a pretty big file. Comparison, Bitcoin's 500 gigs. So what I did, I just ran. So let's do this. So now that we have some data, I'm going to stop. Well, we'll let that run. What is this? Give me some good tunes here. All right. GPU's about 1.2K. The new ones. I mean, the one that I pay for, my AMD, was about $400. I'm getting about 900 hashes a second on that. So 29,660. I don't know. Mine's up to 3,700. Mine's just going. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. But I think now that there's data in the blockchain DB, I should be able to run the indexer. So I'll go ahead and open up my project folder. It's projects, Zen miner main. And then first we have to run the indexer. So I'll run Python indexer.db or .py. Text bigger for you. So when you run this, the indexer.py, it creates the blockchain index.db, and this is the file that you can ask questions. So this blockchain.db is kind of a raw database. It's not formatted easily. It's not easy to read an unformatted database. So when you run the indexer.py that's in the script for the XENBLOCKS Explorer, it actually creates a new database file that's indexed, and it's much easier to read. So I started running that. It's creating the index file right now. You can see it's got the thing right here. So we'll just let this run for a minute. Usually takes less than 5 minutes. However, the database is growing, so we'll see what happens here. Mine's just going, Ken. I don't know, Tech Ken. An unexpected error occurred. The database is locked. All right, so just for the sake of the show, we may not have the most up-to-date data, but I'm gonna, oh, or maybe we do. What just happened? Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna pause, just for the sake of the show, I'm gonna pause. We may not have the most up-to-date data, but we have 31,000 Merkle root blocks. So I'm going to terminate the sync node. Now we have our blockchain. Ah, what the heck? The data disappeared. Well, dang. Well, that's sad. All the data that was in that file just disappeared when I closed the... Wow, it's starting over from the beginning. All right, let me see if I can... I have another database file over here. Let me see if I can grab this one. Well, that's disappointing. I just waited all that time for nothing. Let's see if it can pick up where this other file left off. What am I doing here? So if I replace this blockchain.db and then start the sync node, is it going to pick up? Okay, so yeah, it picked up at 22,900. Well, that's a little frustrating. But we do have some data here, so why don't we play with this data? I'll let this get caught up for a second. Yeah, shout out to the 22 watchers. Hope you guys go head over to hashhead.io. If you're using the tools, if you're using the GitHub scripts, using the website, maybe buy me a coffee. I appreciate any support, but I'm just doing this for the better of the community, so I'm happy. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Let's see what we got here. While we're waiting on the node here, let's see what's... Man, this is so crazy. I'm getting tired of seeing all this about Israel and Palestine, and it's so sad. All these innocent people. I was kind of curious, what do you guys think of Jake's project? I was pretty disappointed that it doesn't involve Zen at all. The Titan X, the Tit X. But yeah, well, we're waiting on that. Why don't we pop the white paper into GPT? Let's see here. Pampamentals. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of Titan X while we're waiting on our sync node here. I have not looked into this project at all. I was really excited for it because I figured it would involve Zen, but since it doesn't, I'll still give it a shot. But it sounds very similar to Zen, though. There's basically virtual mining. You set your term, you set your power, but rather than burning, I guess it goes back into buy and burn. So let's take a look. I'm just gonna basically copy and paste this directly into GPT, and then we'll ask it some questions. And this is a great way to learn about projects. You just come over, you grab the white paper, you pop it into GPT, and you really, it kind of gives you a different angle on the project than what you'd normally have from trying to understand the white paper itself. It's kind of like having the dev, just being able to ask them questions directly. You updated your sync node script? Hopefully this isn't too long for GPT, but Video run through. Cool. Okay, so let's pop it in and see what we got. TitX. What a ticker. TitX. TitanX is a decentralized finance protocol that employs multiple game theoretical mechanisms to create value for its users. Here's a simplified breakdown of the main features and their purposes. Pumpamentals. I feel like Ivan on tech or something. Supply lockup. Users stake their TitanX tokens to earn ETH yields. The longer they lock their tokens, the higher the yield. This mechanism decreases the supply of available to the market, thereby creating token scarcity, potentially increasing the token's value. Developers can use TitanX to launch their tokens, which results in the burning of TitanX, reducing its total supply. Programmatic buy and burn. Automated buying and burning via smart contracts ensure consistent demand and further decrease in supply. The amount of TitanX that can be mined reduces daily, kind of like Zen. Leverage on ETH. TitanX value is tied to Ethereum, making it a leveraged play on ETH's value. And Jake made it known that he did not want the value of his project tied to Zen because the price action on Zen isn't very good while it's being distributed. You know, as the supply continues to grow, the price is decreasing, and I guess he didn't want his project associated with a chart like that. So it looks like it's leveraged on ETH. That's kind of interesting words there. It's a leveraged play on ETH's value. Users can virtually mine TitanX by locking in Ethereum and specifying mining power and duration. The amount of TitanX mined depends on the set duration, daily mineable account, and selected mining power. What does that sound like? The amount of TitanX depends on the set duration, daily mineable amount, and selected mining power. Oh, you mean the date, the VMUs, and the maturity date? Like, that's exactly what Zen is. It sounds like a fork of Zen. Various bonuses are available to users, such as the early adoption amplifier. Wait. Various bonuses are available to users, such as the early adoption amplifier, the burn bonus multiplier, and the T-rank bonuses, which reward users based on their activity and contribution to the ecosystem. Users can stake their TitanX to earn ETH. The payout cycles run at different intervals, distributing ETH to stakers. The amount of ETH earned depends on the user's share in the total staking pool. So yeah, basic staking, burning. That's interesting. Can you explain the buy and burn smart contracts? How does that work? The buy and burn mechanism is a popular strategy in DeFi, yada yada yada. A portion of the transaction fees, staking rewards, or any other protocol earnings is collected as Ethereum. The collected funds are used to buy the protocol's native token from the open market, and then they're burned. Yeah, I know what buy and burn is, but I'm curious of the smart contract function. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, the EAA. That sounds a lot like Zen, doesn't it? The TitanX buy and burn smart contract can receive funds in either ETH or wrapped ETH. It receives the ETH, the contract wraps it in with. Users are incentivized to call their smart contract functions. For instance, when they call the function to distribute Ethereum or the buy and burn function, they receive a 0.33% reward. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like Zen, except instead of doing the do work and just burning your ETH, it's kind of taking that ETH and then using it to add value. I mean, I get it. That's kind of cool. I wish it used Zen though. That is interesting. Yeah, let's be a dick. Let's pop the Zen white paper in there and ask what the difference is. So let's see here. Provide a light papers for Zen. Talks about Zen. What is the difference between Titan X and Zen. I forgot already. If you can tell me about Titan X. Titan X is the white paper above Zen. I sent both the Titan X and the Zen white paper. So Titan X's primary focus is providing decentralized exchange platform with added security, user-friendly features, and sustainability. Zen aims to be a community-building crypto asset connecting like-minded people. Focuses on mass market adoption with low barrier to entry. Titan X uses buy and burn mechanism. Zen starts with zero supply, no max cap. It says Zen focuses on the bipolarity of the crypto world. That's interesting. How are we doing over here? 27,600. So that, yeah, so it sounds like Titan X is kind of a fork of Zen. What's up, Dank? Welcome, welcome. So Titan X does seem like a fork of Zen. It does have some cool features though. I may take part in that. Man, 4.84? Why don't we mint another Zen NFT while we're waiting on the sync node to finish? So I got the last one off at 4.9. Let's see if we can get one off at 4.7. It's crazy seeing it, you know, everyone's so down on Zen. I'm just over here minting away. Let's see here. Do 1 year from now? How about that? All right, so what are we gonna get this one off as? I'll do 4.6. 4.65. $22. It should be like 17 or 18 after it executes. We're blessed with having to know about Zen since day one. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Trevon for that, man. All right, we've been going for about 2 hours now. I really want to demo this. We'll see what happens here. Is the file growing? That's the other thing. If I cancel this, it's just going to clear the file out. I don't understand why this is not getting bigger. EAA is more hex than Zen. True. All right, 29,000. I'm curious how big this sync node's gonna be. I was not expecting it to be this big. I'm kind of kicking myself. I wanted to have it prepared for the show, but I might just have to let this run overnight. We'll follow up tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 1 year for Zen. How exciting is that? I really wanted to go out to New York and participate and meet everybody, but this wasn't in the cards for me this year. But I think we'll be streaming tomorrow, celebrate the 1 year anniversary of Zen. Tomorrow should be a fun day. So what else we got going on here? Took a look at the DBXenFTs. We took a look at the XenGarbageDump. Showed off the calendar tool. Really want to show off the sync node tools, but I minted a couple cheap XenFTs. Did this one go through yet? Nah. So the one earlier, we got a 4.9 Gwei. It was $16 for 10 VMUs, so $1.60 per VMU. And birthday present for next year. Yeah, for sure. That's exactly. Cool. So we're up to 29,700. We'll see what this looks like when it gets to 30,000. It still hasn't updated the blockchain.db yet. It's interesting. What other fun stuff we have coming out? I'm really excited for the DBXenFTs on ETH. I think that's really going to cause some interesting price dynamics with DBXen. Or it's going to be too expensive and no one's going to be able to participate. But the cool thing about ETH is there's a lot of XenFTs out there that have low VMU counts, or you can just go make one real quick. Big plans for our birthday tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do a stream for sure. Yeah, we're doing a stream. No big plans though, but it should be fun. Yeah, we'll be. I know Thane, the Daily Thoth, is holding a big Twitter space with Crypto Bruh tomorrow, so we'll be over there. Maybe we'll live stream while that's happening. We'll kind of chime in, see what's going on. That should be fun. Definitely suggest you guys head over to Hashhead, check out the XenBLOCKS Telegram. If you guys need help, if you have any questions, come over to the official XenBLOCKS Telegram, hop in there, feel free to ask questions. I'm always in there, willing to help, and so are a bunch of other people. So got a whole community over there willing to help if you have questions about XenBLOCKS. I'll catch a stream tomorrow, watching the college football. Yeah, I feel that. All right. Have I ever seen Gwei that low? I haven't, honestly. Not in a long time anyway. Not since Zen came out. This is definitely the lowest Gwei I've seen since Zen is since launched. I've never seen it under 5. I've never gotten a XenFT under 5 until this evening live on this stream. So that's pretty fun. It's exciting. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. This seems like it's going to be going for a while. What I will do is I'm going to let the sync node run overnight. We'll have a full new blockchain file. We'll be able to manipulate and play with on the stream tomorrow. We'll do that. I think that sounds like a good idea. We'll go over the XenBLOCKS Explorer. We'll look at the charts. It's built into that. That'll be fun. Maybe we'll go over to how to change the actual Python file with ChatGPT as well. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out on a Saturday night. We've been going for 2 hours, so I guess it's time to wrap it up. Hope you guys head over to hashhead.io. Check your XenBLOCKS ranks. Check your wallets over there. If you use the tools, if you use the website, maybe buy me a coffee. But if you have questions about XenBLOCKS, you want to get your miner up and running, you're not sure how it works, want more details, come down to hashhead.io. At the bottom of the page, we have the links. join the official XenBlocks Telegram, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. You can also head over to TreeCityTrading.us. That's my website. I have a link to the Zen World Telegram. Got links to the YouTube, Twitter. You know, gonna have to update these. I don't really do the weekly DCA portfolio anymore, but feel free to reach out if you guys need anything. As always, thank you for watching Tree City Trading. My name is TreeCityWes. You guys have a good Saturday night. Tree City Trading is out.